Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this morning I decided while I was getting ready for school, I'd just show you my current foundation routine. It is a little bit different because my skin is different right now, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Be sure to be subscribed, like this video, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, this video will be part of my 12 days of Christmas. Hopefully that's going smoothly. This might be day 1. This might be day anywhere 1 through 12. But yeah, I will just go ahead and get started. Good morning, guys. It is currently like 4:30 in the morning. I know I wake up early, but I thought that I would just film my current like foundation routine because I've changed a lot of things. So I hope you enjoy. My skin has become more dry. I know it's winter, so like you typically get more dry in the winter, but this is like monumentally dry for me. So I have switched my skincare up and I'm loving it. I know you still see some spots, and those are residual acne spots, like acne scars, and they have gone down quite a bit, but you'll see all that in my skincare video and stuff. But yeah, I just thought I would film my current foundation routine. So I guess I'll just go ahead and get started. I currently have the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream on my face. That's the moisturizer that I use, and I like during the day, some days, and I love it. I just bought a full-size jar of it, so that's coming in the mail. But I'm just going to go ahead and start off my skin. I'm going to use the Glam Glow anyway, I can never say that word. Whatever. The Glam Glow Matte Glow Moisturizer. And I'm going to use this kind of as a primer. I'm going to get some on my finger and then warm it up in between my hands and place this all over my face. This is a very extra foundation routine, and you'll see, but I'm just really liking how it looks, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on my skin recently and my makeup because it is a little bit more natural for me, or softer, and I'm just really into it. So I'm just going to rub that all over my face and down my neck, kind of like as a second moisturizer, but also like a pre-primer, if that makes any sense at all. Just really make sure that's good and all over the face. Alright, and I'll let that sit for a second, and then I'll go in with my other primers. But while that sits, I'll go ahead and start mixing my foundation. So for foundation, I am going to use the Loreal Infallible 24-hour Freshwear foundation. I really love this. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation too. I haven't used this on its own, but I like it mixed in. And then just a drop of the Dermablend Flawless Creator Pigment drops. I have it and I want to use it, and I like it because it gives it a little bit more coverage. So like it's still full coverage, but you know. And there it is, and I'll mix it in on my palette. Okay, and that is it. Now that that moisturizer has had a second to sit on my skin, I'm going to go in with the Tacha Silk Canvas. I have it, so I'm using it. The e.l.f. one is a great like dupe alternative to it. I do prefer this one to that one just a little bit. It just feels more luxe, but the e.l.f. one is great as well. And I'm just going to take that again in between my fingers and really rub it in. And I do use a lot because I cover my whole face with it. I probably use technically too much, but you know, I'm living my best life, like always, and I just do what I want. And I really put that into my skin, okay? And again, give that a second to sit in, and then I'm going to go in with the Kane & Austin Mattifying Primer in just my T-zone. Drink some coffee, iced coffee. This is like my morning, I drink like 2 or 3 of these every morning. But it's coffee and my protein shake, and then some Skinny Girl syrups, and I really love it. And like I've said in a previous video, for those of you that don't know, I had gastric bypass surgery back in February, and one of the big things after surgery is like you have to get so many grams of protein a day. If you want me to do like a whole video like answering questions and just talking about my experience after surgery, just let me know. But you have to get 60 to 90 grams of protein a day, or your hair will fall out. And I have lost a lot of hair, and that's just from the anesthetic that they put you under during surgery. Like, that's a thing. Your hair falls out 3 to 4 months after being under anesthesia. It's very common, but also with rapid weight loss, hair loss is common, and then not getting your protein in. And for a while there, I struggled to get my protein in because I couldn't drink shakes. So I had to do a lot of like protein powder, the unflavored protein powder, and put it in everything. But now I can drink shakes, so I drink 2 to 3 of these a day, and that gets me my 60 to 90 grams of protein, along with food and other things. So, long side note and tangent, but I'm just going to go in with like a pea-size amount of that Kane & Austin primer and rub it up in between my fingers again to warm up the product, and then focus that in my T-zone. I gotta get my towel ready because I gotta drain out my sponge. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. sponge. This has quickly become a favorite as I squeeze out all the water. It does hold a lot of water. And like with the Beauty Blender, I leave it like slightly damp, like where it still has a little bit of water in it. Like I could squeeze out a little bit more. But with this one, I have to sit there and like squeeze out all of the product. It is a denser sponge than a Beauty Blender, but I really do kind of enjoying it, and it's super cheap. It's like $5-ish, if that. So now that I've wrung out the sponge, I'm going to go in. I'm just going to pounce it into that foundation that's on that glass palette, and then place it on my skin. You can see it's got good coverage. I'll have to do a second layer over some of my acne scars just to make sure that those are completely covered. And that was one dip into the product. It blended out super quick, and half my face is covered. I do prefer this sponge to the Real Technique sponge. I know a lot of people love that sponge, but it's just too dense for me, and I felt like when I use it, I like hurt my face, like beating in the product. It's just too hard. This one's really soft, which is why I like it. And I think it's a little bit cheaper than that one. I really take my time. This is like probably what I spend the most time doing, is really blending in my foundation to my face, making sure that I pounce it in around my nose, because it can look cakey if I don't spend my time. I really blend that in. And also around my smile lines. I've had issues with my smile lines creasing a lot, and I guess that means I'm a happy person, but I'm also 25 and I don't feel like that's a thing that I should have, but I guess I'm just a happy person. I smile all day at kids, so I'm going in with a second layer over my acne scars, pretty much all over my entire face, just to really make sure that coverage is flawless. I hope you can see, this is like a natural finish. I would say like a satin-ish. It has a little bit of a glow to it, but nothing like crazy. And I saw somebody say that it was matte. It might be for some people, but let me tell you that having had oily skin in the past and using like matte foundations, this is not a matte foundation in my opinion, and in the summer I could get away wearing it for like 3 to 4 hours when I had oily skin, and it would look fine, but you eventually could see like my oils coming through. Like, it was not an all-day foundation, and I feel like now that I have a little bit more dry skin, I can totally wear it all day, but like I said before then, girl, no. Alright, and now that that is all blended out, I'm going to go in with concealer. And I am going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer and the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I really like this combination. The Milani is a little bit more hydrating, and the e.l.f. is a little bit matte and more full coverage. The Milani is definitely like a medium coverage, and I don't know that you can necessarily build it up to be completely full, but I like how hydrating it feels, so I like the mixture of the two. And y'all know I like to put a ton of concealer down under my eyes and then use the residual product to blend out the rest of my face and highlight the rest of my face. I just put it only down under my eyes initially. I'm going to blend that out, and then after I blend it out, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I don't even know that it's translucent. I think it's the Pro Filter Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Butter. And I will use that to set where I put concealer. I do feel like I have to get my mirror closer to do this. And I do feel like this is one spot where the sponge is just a little bit too big So I have to go in with a little concealer brush. This one is for Merle Norman, and I have to blend out in my inner corner just to make sure that I don't miss any spot and that there isn't like too much product there. Going in with that Fenty powder. I'm going to start off by setting my under eyes. And I don't bake with this powder. When I do, it kind of looks splotchy and not great. Like it's brightening, but in a weird way. So I use it to just set, and I really pounce that into my skin. Now, before I do my smile lines, I'll go over them one more time with the Beauty Blender to make sure that they are not like creasing yet. Then I will go in and set them. And I'll also go over my forehead. And then my eyelids start to crease, so I will go back over them with the sponge and get rid of creasing before I go in and set them with powder. I really like this Fenty powder, and I was shocked. You know, the Anastasia powder I bought and I've been using and everything, it looks so big and like you get so much product, but you get more product in the Fenty powder than you do in the Anastasia, and it's bigger packaging, and I think that that is the biggest gimmick of all. So to set the rest of my face, typically, you'll know I love the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, but I've really been using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powder in Dim Light, and I just lightly dust this all over my face, kind of getting rid of any of the excess loose powder so that there isn't too much on my skin. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to bake that product. But then I also set the rest of my face with this Ambient Lighting powder, and I just love it. It's like a soft focus powder, and it's glowy and not too heavy, and it doesn't make me look like oily or greasy, but it also is like a soft diffused finish. I don't know, like I said, this whole thing, I like more glowy products now, and I was never that person before. Alright, we're back. My camera died, and so while it charged, I went ahead and did my hair. That's why it's pulled back differently. Made another cup of coffee, you know, the things that I needed to do. So for bronzer, I'm going to go in with a few different products. I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and this is just in the original bronze shade. Since I am more fair right now, it worked. So I'm just going to put my brush in that and lightly bronze my face. Y'all know I love bronzer, but I've just kind of been a little bit more, I don't know, it might not look as light-handed, but I'm not going in with the one that I love. What is that? Black Radiance or whatever finishing powder? I just felt like it was a little too dark as I get more and more pale because I haven't fake tanned in probably since August. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Nars Laguna bronzer, and this is actually a different formula. I got this at TJ Maxx for super cheap. I don't know how you feel about buying makeup from TJ Maxx, but, you know, I do it. I don't care. But it's like a softer finish. It's not like the original Laguna. And so I like it. I tend to keep this in my kit, which will be another video that I film. Kind of what's in my kit that I take for bridal makeup, when I do weddings and prom and pageants and different stuff like that, and the different products that I use for different kinds of makeup. So stay tuned for that. But I just like it because it is a softer finish, and it kind of has a little bit of a luminosity to it. So does that butter bronzer. It's not matte. Like, it is a matte bronzer. It doesn't have shimmer in it, but it doesn't look flat. After I use that Laguna, I'm going to go in with the Milani Baked Bronzer in Dulce, and I'm going to lightly, this does have like a shimmer to it, but it's a really fine shimmer, and I'm just going to lightly go over the areas that I've bronzed just to give me a little bit of a glow. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know this is far less bronzer than I typically wear. So, I'm into it right now. I like it. For blush, I'm going to go in with the Kylie Cosmetics blush, and this is Close to Perfect. I got this on Black Friday on sale. It's like $10, and I love it. Like, if I ever run out of it, which I doubt I will, I'll buy it again. For sure. And with that, I'm also going to go in with a little bit of Tarte Exposed, just because I feel like using it too. And then I'm going to spray my face with some setting spray and do my brows and eyes. And I don't know if that'll be in here or not. We'll see. But I'm just going to spray a little bit of the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray just to kind of set it. And then I'll also go in with the Moria Badescu Rosewater spray because a lot of my skincare products have hyaluronic acid. So I want to put some moisture on my face for it to suck in so it's plump all day long. Alright guys, and this is my finished look. I have on a sweatshirt from Walmart. Shout out to Walmart. But this is it. Glowy, but like subtle, natural. I hope it comes across on camera that way. So I'm obsessed with it. For highlight, I went in with my Becca Champagne Pop highlight. I've had to repress mine probably 2 or 3 times. Probably more than that because it always shatters. These are very soft formulas, so you just repress it. No big deal. But that is my highlight today. And then for my eyes, I went in with the Dose of Colors and Desi and Katie collab, the Francation palette. Love this palette. So that is what is on my eyes. And then my mascara is the Lancome Hypnose mascara. And I could, if I was like gonna go out, do something, I might put on some false lashes. But you know, like I've said, just going to teach, my kids don't care. But this is it. My lip is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. This is my new favorite lipstick. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I love the Charlotte Tilbury formula, but this particular color, I'm just obsessed with. It's like my lips, but better, and it fades beautifully, so I'm just obsessed with it. And I lined with the Pillow Talk lip liner. It came in a little set from Sephora, and I will repurchase the lip liner when I run out. The Charlotte Tilbury lip liners are one of my favorite. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I'm going to finish getting ready and head to school. Bye guys.